Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and check it out and kind of break down the rent report over on rent.com, as well as a couple other sources, guys, on what is going on with rent right now in the US. It is absolutely insane the amount that people are paying for rent. And in a lot of places, their rent actually far exceeds over what the mortgage is. So we're going to go ahead. I want to look at it, break it down, see exactly what is going on in this video. Now, before we get into it, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got one new subscriber yesterday. We're going to go ahead and go over that every single day, guys. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and let's go ahead and get into it. Looking at the monthly rent prices across the United States, they were up almost 2.5% over the last year. Now, when you couple that with the price of fuel, with the price of automobiles, with used car sales, with the price of just everything in general, guys, you're just stacking kind of things on top of things. The median rental price in the United States right now is $1,942. Now think about that for a minute, guys. We are closing in on $2,000 is the median, the middle rent price, which if you look at even where I am, just north of Detroit, we are renting, or we do have a mortgage of about $1,400, which is just incredibly crazy when the average median rent price is $2,000, which again is kind of crazy. So even looking month over month, year after year, it's up about 2.5%, 2.37% to be exactly on par with where the rent has been going up. Now, it has slowed down quite a bit just because of the economy slowing and the rising of interest rates. As we have seen, rent has increased 15, almost 16% year over year. That is right, guys. Rent has went up 16% year over year, raising it almost $230 per rental unit is kind of what they look. 2 years rent has went over $300 monthly for the rental income. Now on this channel, we talk about a lot of budgeting. We talk about the rental incomes. It has a big impact on your budget if your rent went up $300 in the last 2 years. It is just, again, absolutely crazy, guys. And even looking at some of the graphs that I'm going to show here, looking at the time of COVID. So when you look, roughly 2020, you can start seeing a steady increase of rent going into 21. Once we do hit mid-year 21, rent just skyrockets. Absolutely crazy, guys, with the national trends. You can see the rental going up from about 4%, about a 2% increase, a 4% increase, shooting all the way up to 8 of 22, around September of 2022 at about a 16% increase. And when you look at the year over year, you're almost at about a 17% increase year over year for the rental income. But the big thing that we're actually seeing right now, guys, is as the rental essentially, as the cost of rent goes down, I'm not sure how many landlords out there are running out to reduce rents in units that they're already getting the prime dollars for. It is going to take an incredible amount of time for the actual rental income to slow down. If your landlord out there is coming out and lowering your rent, again, with the cost of goods and services going up within literally the whole entire nation, it is kind of crazy. So you might ask yourself, what states have been hit the most by the rental income, guys? One of the biggest ones, of course, is Florida. Year over year increase in rental properties is up. The cost itself in rent is up about 19.74, almost 20%, which is crazy, guys. So if you're looking at 2022, now you're moving into 2023, rental prices have on average went up 20%. That is right, guys, 20%, which is the highest increase we have actually seen in the nation, followed by Mississippi, New Hampshire, South Dakota, even some of the places that you don't really hear about, Delaware, North Dakota, Tennessee, Alabama, all of those showing a 12 to 18% rent increase, which again is kind of insane with how expensive things are getting in the United States. Now, looking at the graph here, anything depicted in blue is a very, very high increase, up to that 20% mark, which you can look at Florida, and anything that is in kind of the darker yellow is a price reduction. So we have actually seen a couple states where the rental income has actually went down. But as you can see, we don't have very many of those overall. And again, the states that are in gray really haven't seen a huge increase, just kind of a regular increase, again, going year over year when it comes to the rental income. Now, again, there are a couple states that have seen a decrease. Idaho, Arizona, Nevada, Virginia, Colorado, Washington, Minnesota, a couple of them have seen a few percent decreases, but nothing like we've seen with Florida with almost the 20% increase. Now, when it comes to metropolitan areas, they are subject to a very, very high increase because, of course, the demand among the 50 most popular metropolitan cities in the United States, we have seen all the way up to a 23% rent increase in some of the cities, including Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina, Cleveland, Indianapolis. A couple states and a couple cities around the nation, again, have seen massive, massive rent increases. And again, as this begins to kind of fall off, as the economy kind of slows, the chances of these rents going down is very, very low because, again, the landlords, the apartment complexes are already getting their rental income out there. So what is happening? U.S. renters are burdened nationwide with a much higher monthly payment of roughly, the general rule of thumb for budgeting is 30% of your income should go to rent. Now, as of last month, there's actually a couple studies out there that say that United States Americans are paying about 30 to 50% of their income for just their housing. Literally, that is huge, guys. If you're spending 50% of your income for a rental unit, again, that is incredibly, incredibly expensive. That means you have less money for food, healthcare, clothes. Budgeting wise, it's going to be very, very hard to stretch that budget, which essentially leaves Americans, making up the deficit with either making more money, which the pay increases are not anywhere near what we're seeing the increase with the rental market. But in addition, it is also going to leave you kind of short when it comes to the expendable spending in making sure that you have enough money to maintain everything, which means you might fall back to credit card borrowing. Now, affordability challenges can continue to affect home buyers. Now, this is one of the big things, guys. When they surveyed a lot of different people said it is not a good time to buy houses. We know the rates have went up a little bit, but overall, guys, if you're looking to get into a home, now would be a good time. There are a lot of different products out there, products and services that you can use. They have 5-1 arms, 7-1 arms. There's a lot of different ways to get you into a home, but essentially this might not be the lowest rates that we're going to see right now. But in addition, looking at a lot of the factors of the economy, it seems like we could see some increases coming within the next couple months to increase the 30-year rate, increasing mortgage rates overall are coming up in the future, guys. Again, it seems like it is going to be very, very indicative to do it now, especially if you're in areas where the rental rates are very, very high. Rental rates are growing faster than home prices. And it has been happening for quite a bit of time where if your rental rate is going up 10%, home prices might only go up 2 or 3, or they could even decline, again, depending on where you're at, which is what we've kind of seen in a lot of different areas around the United States, meaning that it would actually be cheaper to move into a house, paying a much lower payment than you are for a rental place, which again, it seems like it's a little bit backwards. Just like when we've seen the used car sales, far higher than new car sales, just in the cost, in the sheer cost of the vehicles. And again, guys, looking at some of the places, there are places out there that are renting in a couple different cities, including Boston, that is almost $4,000 is the median. But when you look at places like Raleigh, North Carolina, they have seen almost a 23% year over year change in the median rent, which now it is rounding out about $2,100 as a rent in North Carolina, which again is kind of crazy to see how far that it is going. So guys, again, this article is over on rent.com. It was very cool to see. Again, I go through a lot of research, a lot of data, kind of look to see what is going on with the market. And again, the rental market is literally upside down. So if you're looking to buy, again, this could be a really, really good time. Look at your rates, get your pre-approval, see what is on the market. As we're starting to see the home values actually decline, the rental market is not doing the exact same, which means you could probably find a place for much cheaper than you're renting that you actually own. You have the ability to develop and build equity within that position, being within a house itself, and it is something that you own, that you're not renting. So guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.